जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, thank you very much for your kind association. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda, and we are going to begin chapter number 8 today. So, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Text 1. Jaya Jaya Kripa Sindhu Shri Gaura Sundara Jaya Shachi Jagannatha Griha Shashadhara. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is chanting his Mangalacharan before he begins chapter 8. Jaya Jaya Kripa Sindhu Shri Gaura Sundara. All glories to Kripa Sindhu. Kripa means mercy and Sindhu means ocean. All glories to the Muktasanga Prabhu is saying, Hare Krishna, please highlight yourself. Oh, are you not able to see me, Muktasanga Prabhu? One second, let me make you the co-host. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhuji, you can unmute. Muktasanga Prabhu.
I'm not able to see you, Prabhu, on the spotlight. You're on small window.
Acha?
Yeah.
Okay, one second. Huh?
Maybe spotlight for everyone. Is that option?
One second. Huh?
Yeah, I got it, Prabhu, now. Sorry. Maybe
Okay.
it was my machine mistake. Yeah, I got it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good
Prabhu.
to see you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, we are reading the first verse of chapter 8 of Adi Khanda. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Jaya Jaya Kripa Sindhu Shri Gaura Sundara Jaya Shachi Jagannatha Griha Shashadhara. Shashadhara is moon. So, Jaya Shachi Jagannatha Griha Shashadhara means Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the moon, the Chandra of the house of Shachi Mata and Sri Jagannath Mishra. Jaya Shachi Jagannatha Griha, Griha means their house, Shashadhara. He is the moon of their house. And Jaya Jaya Kripa Sindhu Shri Gaura Sundara. He is Gaura Chandra and he is Gaura Sundar. Gaura Sundar, he is Kripa Sindhu. He is an ocean of mercy. Kripa Sindhu. Text 2. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Swarupera Pran Jaya Jaya Sankirtana Dharmera Nidhan. What a beautiful verse. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Swarupera Pran. Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is the life and soul of Nityananda Swarup, Nityananda Ram. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Swarupera Pran. Jaya Jaya Sankirtana Dharmera Nidhan. And he is the inaugurator. He started this Sankirtan Dharma, the Yuga Dharma. Kalautad Hari Kirtana. Hari Kirtan is the Dharma for Kali Yuga, and the inaugurator of Yuga Dharma, Krishna Sankirtan, is our Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Jaya Jaya Sankirtana Dharmera Nidhan. In Chaitanya, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, it is mentioned that Krishna Varanam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yadnya Sankirtana Prayer Ejantihi Sumedasa. Yagya Sankirtana prior. In Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma will be Sankirtan Yagya. And Krishna will come in a form that is not dark, but fair. He'll be Gora. He'll be known as Gauranga. And he will be always chanting Krishna, 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 hey. And he will inaugurate this Nam Sankirtan movement. This is predicted in Chaitanya, in Srimad Bhagavatam. Text number 3. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya Shunile Chaitanya Katha Bhakti Labhya Haya. Vrindavan Thakur is saying, Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya. All glories to who? To Gauranga Mahaprabhu along with Bhakta Goshti, along with his devotees and associates, his parikar. Along with all of them, Jaya Jaya. All glories. So all glories not just to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but all glories to the associates of Mahaprabhu also. This is very important. We always see Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, along with the associates. Along with the associates. The vision of a Kanishtha Adhikari is that they just look at Krishna. They are not interested in Krishna's devotees. But a Madhyama Adhikari, he has love for Krishna and he has friendship for the devotees, friendship with the devotees. Prema Maitri Kripopeksha. So therefore we should always seek Krishna or Gauranga Mahaprabhu along with their associates. Very important. So Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya. Shunile Chaitanya Katha Bhakti Labhya Haya. How will we get bhakti? Bhakti Labhya. How will we get bhakti? Shunile Chaitanya Katha. If we hear Gaura Leela, if we hear Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat, we will get bhakti. It is guaranteed. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya Shunile Chaitanya Katha Bhakti Labhya Haya. Next, text 4. Hena mate Mahaprabhu Jagannath Ghare Nigude Achena Keha Chinite Na Pare. Hena mate Mahaprabhu Jagannath Ghare. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in the house of Jagannath Mishra. So far, what have we discussed? Nimai was born under a neem tree in the courtyard, in the maternity home of Jagannath Mishra. He was born as the son of Shachimata. He was named Nimai and Vishwambhar. Vishwambhar name was given by Nilambar Chakravarti. And Nimai name was given by Srimati Sita Thakurani. And he grew up like the waxing moon, very beautiful. And little Nimai, he was very naughty as a child. Very, very naughty. And we discussed how naughty he was. Then he started his education. And he became very serious, especially after the passing away, after the sannyas of his elder brother, Vishwarup. After Vishwarup left home, which is considered to be social death. Sannyas means social death. You no longer are part of your family, your community, your society. You are, as far as the society is concerned, you are dead. All material relationships are dead. So when Vishwarup left, it was a great shock to Shachimata and Jagannath Mishra. So to pacify them, Nimai spoke many sweet words to them, promised them, I will never leave you. I will always be with you. I will give you all the happiness that I can. Please don't be sad. And he gave up his naughtiness, his frivolous activities, and became very serious. And all day long he would read books, Shastra, Vedas, and seeing his devotion to the Vedic literature and how studious he was and how seriously he was studying the Vedic literature, Sri Jagannath Mishra became very anxious. He got worried that my younger son Nimai, who is my only child, will also take sannyas, just like his elder brother, and leave us. So he stopped the education of Nimai. And then Nimai again became very naughty. And then he performed that pastime that we read last time, how he went and sat on the used dirty pots that had been used for cooking. And he argued with his mother in front of all the neighbors. And then everyone said, come on, you should let him get education. And then finally Shachimata climbed up and got Nimai down and bathed him with her own loving hands. And then when Jagannath Mishra came home, Shachi Mata told him that we should let our son study. Everyone is criticizing us. Everyone is saying you should let him study. He really wants to study. There are kids in the village who don't want to study, and the parents have to force them. But here you have such an intelligent boy. He's so intelligent and he wants to study. Why are you stopping him? Let him get an education. So then Jagannath Mishra said, all right, you get educated. Now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become 8 years old, my dear friends. He's 8 years old. And now let's see what happens. Henamate Mahaprabhu Jagannath Ghare Nigude Achena ke Hachinite na pare. He is the Supreme Lord, but he's called Channa Avatar. According to our scriptures, he's Channa Avatar. He's a hidden incarnation. And therefore, no one could understand that he's the Supreme Lord. Balya Krida Namayata Ache Prithivite Sakala Khelaya Prabhu Ke Pare Kahite. And Balya Krida Nanayat. Different types of childhood pastime sports he enjoyed. All the sports that are known on this earth planet, it is said, Balya Krida Nama Jato Ache Prithivite. On this earth, whatever different sports are there that young children, young boys like to play, Sakala Khelaya Prabhu. All those sports, our Nimai played. He had so much fun. Balya Krida, Vilas. Veda Dware Vyakta Haibe Sakala Purane Kichu Sheshe Shunibe Sakala Bhagyavane. These pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will later be described in the Vedic literature. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, in the Vedas and Puranas, and only the fortunate souls, Bhagyavane, only the fortunate souls will be able to hear. So, Veda Dware Vyakta Haibe Sakala Purane. In the Puranic literatures, in the future, when Veda Vyasji will write, he will describe the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu elaborately. Because the Vedic literature was written down at the beginning of Kali Yuga by Vyasdevji. Sri Vyasdev, he wrote down the Vedic literature. Before that, it was all transmitted by hearing, Shruti. But then, knowing that in Kali Yuga, people's memories will be very short-lived. Prayana alpayusha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagye upadruta. As a favor to the people of Kali Yuga, Sri Vedvyas, he wrote down all the Vedic literature for our benefit. And that was 5,000 years ago. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared only 500 years ago. So naturally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes that he performed during this particular kalpa have not been written down by Vedavyasji, but Vedavyasji will write it in the future. Because in every kalpa, there are different Vyasdevs, different living entities are empowered, because Vyasadev is a Shakti Avesha avatar of Krishna. So different special pure souls are empowered by Krishna to become Vyasdevs. And actually, in different Manvantars also, the Vyasdevs keep changing. In one day of Brahma, in one kalpa of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. And each Manu lives for 71 Divya Yugas, 71 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. So in every Manvantar, there is a different Vyasdev. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is an incarnation of Vyasdev himself, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kahe Vedavyas Chaitanya Lila Ravyasa Vrindavana Das. Vrindavan Das Thakur is an incarnation of Vedavyas. And he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is non-different from Srimad Bhagavatam. In the purport to this verse, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes that Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, what we are reading every Sunday, my dear friends, it is non-different from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has said like this. So that same Vyasadev has come as Vrindavan Das Thakur, and he is declaring Veda Dware Vyakta Haibe Sakala Purane. In the Puranic literatures, it will be described. It will be described by Vyasdev, these pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here it is mentioned, one very important point is raised by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Please listen very carefully. Very interesting point. So Srila Vrindavan Thakur is saying, Veda dware vyakta haibe sakala purani. In the future, in the Puranic literatures, all these pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be described. So the question is, all right, in the future it will be described. So then Saraswati Thakur says, the eternality of Vedic literature is not denied by the use of future tense in the phrase Veda dware vyakta haibe. These pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be described in the Vedic literature. It's future tense. So then does that mean that the Vedic literature is not eternal? How can the Vedic literature be written in the future? Isn't it eternal? So Srila Saraswati Thakur says, in different manvantaras and in the beginning of different yugas, Lord Narayan reveals Vedic knowledge in the heart of his servant, Lord Brahma, and preaches his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Means Lord Narayan preaches his own name, form, qualities, pastimes through Sri Vyasadeva. Unquote. So this is a quotation from the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So the Vedic literature is eternal, but still Vyasadeva comes and writes it in every manvantar. Text 7. Eimata Gaurachandra Balya Rase Bhola Yajnopavitera Kala Asiya Milila. As Shri Gaura Sundar remained fully absorbed, Balya Rase Bhola, fully absorbed in his childhood pastimes, Balya Rase, what happened? Yagyo Pavitera Kala Asiya Milila. The time came for him to accept the Brahman thread. Yagya Pavit. Yagya Pavit is the Brahmin thread that we get during the Brahmin initiation. So that time came. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that regarding Yajna Pavitera Kal, it is stated in the Vedas, Ashta Varsham Brahmanam Upanayita. This Upanayan Samskar should happen at the age of Ashta Varsham, at the time of 8 years, when we are 8 years old. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is 8 years old right now. When the son of a Brahmana becomes 8 years old, he should be awarded the sacred thread, Yajnopavita. That is the culture. Because Janmana Jayate Shudra, Samskarad Bhavet Dvija. By birth, everyone is Shudra. Everyone is born a Shudra. But through samskar, through purificatory rites, we become purified and we become Brahman, twice born. Therefore, Brahman is called Dvija. 2 births. First birth happens when we take birth from the mother's womb. And the second birth takes place at the time of initiation, Diksha. So it's very important. It is mentioned in the Vishnu Yamala, which is one of the Puranic literatures, Ashuddhaha Shudra Kalpahi Brahmanaha Kali Sambhavaha Tesham Agama Margena Shuddhir Na Shrota Vartmana. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is writing in the purport that the so-called Brahmanas who are born in the age of Kali are merely Shudras. Hare Krishna. So if someone says that I am a Brahman because of my birth, that is not accepted. Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth, we are all Shudras. Kalau Shudra Sambhavat. In our Purana, that is mentioned that in Kali, everyone is born Shudra. Samskarad Bhavet Dvija. But by Samskaras, by Upanayan Sanskar, we become Brahman. Samskarat Bhavet Dvija. We become Brahman. So the Brahmanas born in the age of Kali are merely Shudras. Their so-called Vedic path of karma is polluted and cannot purify them. They can be purified only by following the path of the Agamas or Pancharatrika Vidhi. Pancharatrika Vidhi. Tesham Agama Margena Shuddhir. They become purified by following the path of the Agamas, means the Vedas, the Vedic literatures. So this is very, very important. Also, in Sri Mahabharat, which is considered the fifth Veda, in the Anushasan Parva of Mahabharat, it is mentioned in chapter 143, text number 46, and also text number 50. It is said, Shudro api agama sampanno dvijo bhavati samskritaha. So even if someone is born a Shudra, because everyone is born a Shudra in Kali Yuga, Shudro api, but agama sampanno, if one is well versed in the Vedas, in the Vedic literature, dvijo bhavati samskritaha, then through the samskaras, through study of Vedas, one can become a Brahman. Like that, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has quoted so many scriptural references from Bharadwaj Samhita of the Narad Pancharatra. He has quoted from Tattva Sagar. He has quoted from Hari Bhakti Vilas. He has quoted from Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Srila Sanatana Goswami. He has quoted on Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary on the Brahma Samhita, verse number 27. So many references Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj is giving to tell us that it is through initiation, Diksha, that one becomes a qualified Brahman, not by birth. So then further Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, therefore Sri Jayatirthapad, one of the acharyas, refers to the Vrishika Tanduli Nyaya in his Tattva Prakashika commentary on the Brahma Sutras 1.3.29 to demonstrate that Brahminical qualities acquired by birth or by occupation are accepted. The sacred thread ceremony is meant to give one the qualification to study the Vedas, because the Brahma Sutras state that Shudras, or those without the Brahmin thread, are not eligible to hear Vedanta. After accepting Pancharatrika mantras and being properly initiated, according to the Sri Narada Pancharatra, a person must observe the samskaras or purificatory rites and thereafter begin hearing the meanings of the mantras, which means we get the qualification to study Vedic literature after we are initiated. Therefore, it is called initiation. Initiation means the beginning. Our study of the Vedic literature begins after initiation. Sometimes we feel that after we get initiated, now we have become very advanced. No, it is not like that. Just the contrary. When we get initiated, we actually begin our actual student life. So it's very important to get initiated. Then we go to the verse number 8. Yagya Sutra Putrera di Bare Mishravara Bandhu Varga Dakiya Nila Nija Ghara. For the sacred thread ceremony, Yagya Sutra of his son Putrera, Jagannath Mishra invited all his friends. Mishravara Bandhu Varga Dakiya. He called all his friends and Anila Nija Ghara. He invited them to his house. So when we have an important ceremony like Upanayan Samskar, where the Brahmin thread is given to a child at the age of 8 years, it should be observed properly. So Sri Jagannath Mishra, he invited all his friends, relatives, neighbors to his house and held a nice big ceremony. Parama Harishe Sabe Asiya Milila Jarajena Yogya Karya Karite Lagila. And all the friends and relatives of Jagannath Mishra, they happily came. They gathered there, and according to their ability, they were assisting in the festival, the Upanayan Samskar festival of Jagannath Mishra's son, our dear Nimai. Jara Jena Yogya Karya Karite Lagila. Which means when we go for some event or some devotional program, according to our ability and according to our qualification and capacity and talents, we should serve. Some will be able to help with the logistics. Some will be able to help with the cleanup. Some will be able to help with Harikatha, with Kirtan, playing musical instruments, performing the Yajna, bringing some gifts. So everyone has different place. Everyone has a place in devotional programs. And according to our capacity and our ability, we should participate. Some devotees may give a lot of encouragement to others just by sitting with a straight back and listening attentively. Just like I can see Shiv Kumar Prabhu and Mukta Sangha Prabhu sitting. So I'm looking at both of you and speaking. So we can simply by our presence, we can inspire the speaker to speak. That is a very wonderful favor. Very wonderful favor. So like that, everyone according to our capacity, we should assist. Stri Gane Jaya Diya Krishna Gunagaye Natagane Mridanga Shai Naivam Shivai. So Stri Gane, the ladies, what were they doing? Jaya Diya Krishna Gunagaye. The ladies, simple ladies like Shashi Mata and her friends, what were they doing? Krishna Gunagaye. They were singing the names of Krishna and the pastimes of Krishna during the ceremony of Nimai, Brahmin thread ceremony. And Natagane Mridanga Shainai Vamshi Bai. And the musicians, they were playing Mridanga Shehnai. In India, we see even Shehnai is very popular, like a special type of a flute. Especially we use it during auspicious ceremonies like marriage ceremony. So Shehnai, flute, Vamshi means flute. They were playing. Vipragane Veda Padhe Bhate Rayabhan Shachi Grihe Haila Ananda Avatar. What a beautiful verse. Vipragane Veda Padhe. What were the Brahmins doing? They were reciting auspicious mantras from the Vedic literature during the Upanayana Samskar of Nimai. Bhate Rayabar. And they were professional singers, professional blessers. They were Rayabar means they were singing prayers of glorification, different prayers of glorification. They were singing from the scriptures. There are so many prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. So they were singing. Shachi Grihe Haila Ananda Avatar. And because the Brahmins were chanting Vedic mantras, professional singers were singing different prayers from the Vedic literature. And all the women, they were chanting the names of Krishna and the qualities of Krishna. And the musicians were playing Mridanga, Shehnai and flute. Shachi Grihe Haila Ananda Avatar. In the house of Shachi Mata, it was as if happiness personified, incarnated. Ananda Avatar. Such beautiful verse. Vipragane Veda Pade Bhate Raya Bar Shachi Grihe Haila Ananda Avatar. Yagya Sutra Dhari Bena Shri Gaura Sundara Shubha Yoga Sakala Aila Shachi Gara. As Shri Gaura Sundar accepted the Brahman thread, Yagya Sutra Dhari Bena Shri Gaura Sundara. As he got the Brahmin thread, all the auspicious planetary conjunctions fell on the house of Shachi. Shubha Yoga Sakala Aila Shachi Ghara. On the house of Shachi Mata, all the planets were showering their favor. Which means all the planets, they organize themselves in a favorable way for the service of Shri Nimai, Vishwambhar, our Gaura Sundar. All these horoscope, astrology, it is subservient to Krishna, subservient to Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We should always remember this. Planetary influence affects all of us. There is no doubt about it. Whether we are devotees or not devotees. But the difference is that a devotee does not give too much importance to astrology. I repeat, a devotee does not give too much importance to astrology. A devotee gives importance to bhajan. A devotee gives importance to Krishna seva, Krishna karma. Astrology is there. Who knows what karma we have done in the past and what type of destiny, prarabdha we have. We all have. And by the arrangement, the way this world is created by Krishna, it will affect us. It will affect us. But what is in our hands is our bhajan, our sadhana, our future. Future will depend on what we do today. And therefore, what has to happen, what fate has to befall us, let it befall. No problem. But we do bhajan. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. We don't worry about what is going to happen astrologically. It is going to affect us. But we are going to not reduce our bhajan. We are only going to increase our bhajan. We are going to increase our dependence on Krishna, knowing that ultimately even astrology, even all this planetary influence is subservient to Krishna. Krishna is Sarva Loka Maheshwara. And he's our best friend, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. If we know this, then we can be peaceful. Nyatva mam shantim rachati. This is the message. Shubha Mase Shubha Dine Shubha Kshana Dhari Dhari Lena Yagya Sutra Gauranga Shri Hari. In this one verse, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is described. His Brahmin thread ceremony is described. Yagyopavita Samskar, Upanayan Samskar is described. Shubha Mase, the month was auspicious. Shubha Dine, the day was auspicious. Shubha Kshana, and the moment when he got this Upanayan Samskar, his Brahmin thread Samskar, that moment was auspicious. So we saw Yajna Sutra Dhari Bena Shri Gaura Sundara Shubha Yoga Sakala Aila Shachighara. The planets rearrange themselves in a very auspicious, favorable way for the pleasure of Mahaprabhu. Shubha Mase Shubha Dine Shubha Kshana Dhari Dhari Lena Yagya Sutra Gauranga Shri Hari. Sarva Amangala Hare Iti Hari. All inauspiciousness is taken away by Lord Hari. So when Gauranga Shri Hari appeared, everything became auspicious. Shubha. Shubha month, Shubha din, Shubha kshan, everything became auspicious. This is the power of the Supreme Lord. Shobhila tri ange yagya sutra manohara shukshma rupe sheshava vedila kaleva. Our Vrindavan Thakur, as usual, is becoming mad now. We can feel his ecstasy. So he's visualizing our Gauranga Sundara with his Yajñopavita, with his Yajna Sutra, his Brahmin thread, draped on his left shoulder. Shobhila Shri Ange Yagya Sutra Manohara. Srila Vrindavan Thakur is saying that the Yagya Sutra, the Brahmin thread, is looking so beautiful, Manohar, on the golden body of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. As if Sukshma Rupe Sheshava Vedila Kaleva. As if Ananta Shesh, Lord Balaram, has manifested on the body of Shri Nimai as his Brahmin thread. And this is very true in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 5.123 and 124. It is mentioned by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that Lord Balaram, in this 5th chapter of Adi Lila, it is said that Lord Balaram, he serves Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 10 different ways. How does he serve? He serves Krishna. Balaram serves Krishna by becoming Krishna's umbrella, by becoming Krishna's footwear, his slippers or shoes, becoming Krishna's bed, becoming Krishna's pillow, becoming Krishna's garments, Krishna's clothes. It's Balaram. 5: umbrella, footwear, bed, pillow, clothes. Krishna's clothes is Balaram. Krishna's chair, where Krishna sits, his asan. Krishna's residence, means the whole dham actually. Krishna's residence. Then Krishna's sacred thread and Krishna's throne. All this is Balaram. And Krishna's brother, of course, is Balaram. Krishna's friend is Balaram. So Balaramji is so enthusiastic to serve that he takes on so many forms to serve Krishna. I will become Krishna's shoes. I'll become Krishna's clothes, Krishna's Brahmin thread, Krishna's garland, everything, his umbrella, everything is an incarnation of expansion of Lord Balaram. As Sudhir Thakur says, he is thus called Lord Shesha for he has attained the ultimate end of servitude to Krishna. Shesha. He is the ultimate end of service to Krishna. Haila Vaman Rupa Prabhu Prabhu Gaura Chandra Dekhite Sabara Bade Parama Ananda. Haila Vamana Rupa Prabhu Gaurachandra. When everyone saw Gaurachandra getting his Brahmin thread, 8-year-old boy, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, little Nimai, getting his Brahmin thread, that samskar, he's looking at his shikha and everything. Everyone was most pleased to see how Gaurachandra looked like Lord Vamanadev. Vamanadev also was appeared as the son of Aditi, as a Brahman. Haila Vamana Rupa Prabhu Gaurachandra. So our Gaura Keshava Dhrita Vamana Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. He appeared as Vamana Dev. Vamana Rupa. Very, very beautiful. So, Apurva Brahmanya Teja Dekhi Sarva Gane Nara Jnana Ara Keha Nahi Kare Mane. On seeing this very beautiful form of Nimai as a Brahman, what did people think? Apurva Brahmanya Tej Dekhi Sarvagane. They were actually able to appreciate his Brahma Tej. Nimai's Brahma Tej. Nara Jnana Ara Keha Nahi Kare Mane. They immediately understood that he is not an ordinary child. Nara Jnana Ara Keha Nahi. He cannot be ordinary boy. He's so effulgent, so beautiful. So then the description continues. What is the time? Yeah, so I will pause here because I want to stress the importance of initiation, because here in the purport, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is stressing the importance of initiation. He says this initiation, this samskar is very important. Our Gauranga Mahaprabhu, by his own example, he's teaching the importance of getting initiated. Now, Gauranga Mahaprabhu gets initiated, he gets his Brahmin thread, he hears the Gayatri Mantra, and he then starts studying Vedic literature under the guidance of Gangadas Pandit. That will come in the next session, how he learns from Gangadas Pandit. So this samskar of getting diksha is very important. Srila Rupa Goswami says that bhakti begins with this. Guru Pada Ashrayam. First stage is to take shelter of a guru. And then Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. We get diksha and we get shiksha about Krishna from our guru. Initiation and instructions, both. So Guru Padashrayam and then Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. Both are important. Getting diksha and getting instructions. Shiksha from one's Gurudev. So our bhakti begins with this. And there is because ultimately what happens when we get initiated? What do we get during initiation? We get Naam. Diksha is called Harinam Diksha or Mantra Diksha, Gayatri Mantra. Ultimately, what is Gayatri Mantra? It is a prayer consisting of the names of the Supreme Lord. There are different names. Sambandha Naam, Abhideya Naam, Prayojan Naam in the mantras. In the Kam Gayatri Mantra, in the Gopal Mantra. So, even all the mantras, their sar, their essence is the name, Naam. And during first initiation, all we get is Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But that's all that is required. Naam is everything. Krishna is very attracted by devotees who are Naam Nishtha, who are always absorbed and dedicated to chanting. We should keep increasing our chanting. That is the only thing that attracts Krishna. Our bhajan. And of course, how we should chant, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us in the 3rd verse of Shikshashtakam. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. To chant effectively, we need 4 qualities. Humility, Trinadapi sunichena, humility. As much humility as we can get, as we can gather. Humility means, in short, to consider that everyone else is more advanced than me. Taror api sahishnu. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he quotes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining the meaning of this line, Taror api sahishnuna. What is the meaning of becoming tolerant like the tree? It essentially means two things. No complaints and no demands. Hare Krishna. So what is humility? Humility means to consider everyone else more spiritually advanced than us. Everyone else is more advanced than me. Everyone is more advanced. I am not more advanced than anybody. Everyone is more advanced than me. That is humility. What is tolerance? Two things. No demands and no complaints. And what is our nature? We start complaining. Oh, that devotee did that. Oh, that management is like this. This is like that. We complain about devotees. That means we are not tolerant. These are not my words. These are the words of Mahaprabhu, quoted by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the last chapter of the Antya Lila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The explanation of this Trinadapi Sunichanu verse. Sahishnu means tolerance has two aspects. No complaints and no demands. Not asking for anything. All right, I will do this service, but this is my condition. No, don't demand. No conditions. Unconditional devotional service. When we put conditions, when we make demands, I want this facility, I want that facility, that is not tolerance. So no making demands and no complaining. I know this is difficult. But this is the standard. This is how we have to chant. Chanting will attract Krishna. But how to chant? That is also important. So tolerance means no making demands and no complaining about devotees. That devotee did that devotee is not doing this, I am not getting this, can I get this? No. No demands and no complaining. Just do your bhajan. Who is stopping you from chanting? Who is stopping you from reading Prabhupada's books? We should tell our mind like that. Just do bhajan. If something is not right, just do bhajan. Why are you complaining? Don't complain, don't demand. There are devotees at the management level, temple president, vice president, bhakti Vriksha leaders, they will take care. It is their duty. So no need to complain about situations. Why? If I had more money, I could have retired and done bhajan peacefully. But what to do? I lost money. If I had this, no, don't complain. Just do bhajan. Don't complain. You are very fortunate that you have come in touch with Srila Prabhupada. Just do bhajan now. Don't complain and don't demand. So humility means everyone is more advanced than me. I am making it very simple how we can understand. What is humility? Everyone is more advanced than me. What is tolerance? I will just do my bhajan. And no complaints and no making demands. Amanina means not expecting any respect. People should call me Prabhuji, people should bow down to me, people should respect me because I have been in the movement for many years, because I am initiated, because I am old, I am elder in age. No, this is a demand. You are demanding respect. Don't demand, don't expect respect. But then what happens? All right, I will not expect any respect from anybody. I have no expectations. And therefore, nobody should have any expectations from me also. I will not respect others. No. Mahaprabhu says, Amanina manadena. But we have to give respect. Even though we are not expecting respect, we have to give respect to others. That is the test. That is what Krishna is demanding. Krishna is very high class. Mahaprabhu also is very high class. It's not easy to get them like that. Nityananda Prabhu is avadhut. He's intoxicated. We can always approach him. However we are, in whatever situation we are, we can always approach Srila Prabhupada and Nityananda Prabhu. The biggest offense we have committed, the biggest sin we have committed, there are two personalities we can just go without any hesitation. Srila Prabhupada, we cannot go to our Guru. We cannot go to Guru. How we can show our face to Guru? If we have broken the vows of initiation, we cannot show. But Srila Prabhupada, our grandfather, and Nityananda Avadhut. Because Srila Prabhupada is the representation of Nityananda Prabhu. He is the Shakti-Avesh avatar of Nityananda Prabhu. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Swami Shri Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupadaya Te Namah. Gurvagyam Shirashi Dhritva Shakti-Avesh Swarupine. He is Nityananda Swarup Shakti-Avesh avatar. Hare Krishna Mantrena Paschatya Prachatarine. So yes, Srila Prabhupada and Nityananda Prabhu we can approach in all situations. But we cannot approach Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Gurudev or Krishna. They are very high class. But amanina manadena. We should not expect respect, but we should offer respect to everyone. We should be eager to offer respect to others. If we have these four qualities, humility, tolerance, not expecting respect means being prideless, and giving respect to others, being respectful, then we can chant. And if we chant, then our chanting will attract Krishna. Initiation means we get Naam, we get the adhikar to chant. We get adhikar to chant, and especially the Gayatri mantra during second initiation. And our chanting attracts Krishna. There is a true story. There is one sadhu in Barsana. All of you have heard of Barsana? The place of Srimati Radharani, holiest of all holy places. Barsana, Radhakund, Vrindavan, these are our life and soul. So Shri Barsana Dham. So there was one person, he was living in some other city like Delhi or some city outside Vrindavan, had never gone to Vrindavan, was not a devotee of Radha and Krishna. But somehow some relative was getting married in Barsana. So the marriage ceremony was in the village, Barsana. So first time in his life he came to Vraj Mandal, to the holy land of Vrindavan. And he came to Barsana. And you know how Indian weddings are. They are very crowded. So many people come. And if some prominent person is getting married, the whole village is invited. So somehow this wedding was taking place and the girl was from Barsana. So many guests had come from Delhi and this one couple had come from Delhi. Both of them were not devotees. The husband and his wife. His wife's name was Kishori. They had no devotion. They knew nothing about Radha Krishna. They had never come to Vrindavan also. But for the marriage, they came to Barsana. Because the girl who was getting married to the boy, and they were from the boy's side, from the boy's family. But the girl was from Barsana. So the wedding was taking place in Barsana. So this family came with the Bharat. The husband, it came to Barsana. And this one couple was there. The husband and his wife. Wife's name was Kishori. Now the wedding was very crowded and somehow he lost his wife. He could not find her. Basically they got separated. So he was going everywhere in Barsana calling out his wife. Because in those days there were no cell phones. So no phones. Where is she gone now? No phones, nothing. How do I communicate? How do I find her? And he had come for the first time. He did not know anyone. Nobody knew his wife. So he was panicking. How will I find in a crowded place like this? So he was walking all the lanes and roads of Barsana. He was climbing Mangad. He was climbing Vilasgad, all the different mountains, calling out his wife's name. What was the wife's name? Kishori. Radhe Kishori Daya Karo, Shama Ladali Daya Karo. So Kishori. Kishori is the name of Srimati Radharani. We have Kishori in Chicago, ISKCON temple. So Kishori is the name of Srimati Radharani. And this man, he was calling out loudly in Barsana, Kishori! Kishori! Are Kishori, where are you? Kishori, where are you? Kishori, have you seen Kishori? He was shouting loudly, Kishori. Have you seen Kishori? Kishori, where are you? Kishori. Now in Barsana, there is the Drishyaman Dham, the Dham that we see with our eyes. But covered under the layer of Yogamaya is the Aprakat Dham, the eternal Dham. Eternally pastimes are going on in Barsana, in the Dham. So Lalita and Vishakha Sakhi heard these calls. That is, one man is there, he's walking around, Barsana calling out, Kishori, where are you? Kishori, mil jao. Kishori, I want to meet you. Kishori. So Lalita and Vishakha Sakhi heard and they were smiling. Who is this fellow? We have never seen anyone walking around so desperately, so anxiously, calling out Kishori. So they were smiling. And Srimati Radharani asked them, why are you smiling? So Lalita Sakhi said, there is this man, he's walking around calling Kishori. But I know he's actually calling his wife. He has got separated from his wife and he's calling Kishori. So Srimati Radharani said to Lalita Sakhi that yes, he's calling his wife, but whose name is Kishori? Who is Adi Kishori? Who is the original Kishori? Lalita Vishakha Sakhi said, it's you, Srimati Radhika Rani. You are Kishori. You are the original Kishori. So Radharani said, he has come to my home. He has come to Barsana. He has come to my dham. And he's calling out my name. So why we should not accept him? Immediately go and call him. Immediately go and call him. This is the power of Naam. It is Krishna's name. It is Radharani's name. Why it will not attract them? If somebody calls Shiv Kumar Prabhu, Mukta Sangha Prabhu, immediately you will look. Because your name is being called. Why Radha and Krishna will not look? Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Ara Nahi More. If we keep chanting this, Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishore, Hare Krishna, Hare is Radharani. If we call out like this, then naturally Radharani will be attracted. She said, immediately call. And that man from Delhi or some city, first time he came to Vrindavan and he had darshan of Radharani. After that, he became mad and he became a great sadhu. He never left Barsana. His wife never left Barsana. Both of them, they never left the Shriji temple, the temple of Radharani. Shriji gave darshan, Kishori gave darshan. So this is Adbhut. Dham Mahima, Naam Mahima. The power of the name, power of the Dham. Therefore, we should keep doing Naam Bhajan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Krishna. If we are walking, today I was talking to one devotee and he was having some health crisis. So I told him that with every breath, you try to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So he was saying it is too difficult, Prabhu. I cannot chant the full Mahamantra. It's too difficult. Because he was feeling very short of breath. So I said, okay, just chant Krishna, Radha, Radha. Just one, two names. Because it is bona fide. Radha Krishna, Pranamor Yugal Kishore. Our Narottam Thakur is singing. Our Krishnadas Goswami is saying, Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying Jaya Radha Madhav, is singing Jaya Radha Madhav. Our Jiva Goswami is saying Krishna Prema Mai Radha Radha Prema Mayo Hari Jivane Nidhane Nityam Radha Krishna Gatir Mama. Radha Krishna Gatir Mama. So just chant Radha Radha Krishna Krishna Krishna. So we should chant. This person attracted Radharani, got the darshan of Radharani, special mercy just by chanting his wife's name, Kishori. So Adbhut Mahima in the name. We should keep chanting Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Radha Krishna like that. So that is the message. And initiation is very important. Because during initiation we get Naam. We get connected with the Parampara. So we should all get initiated and we should all try to get second initiation also. We should not stop at first initiation. It is not that second initiation is only meant for pujaris who want to do deity worship. That is a completely wrong understanding. Every sincere devotee must get the Gayatri mantras from Guru. We must do our Bhakti Shastri and aspire. Whatever qualifications are required, we should try to cultivate those qualities and get second initiation. Every ISKCON devotee must get second initiation. We should try. We should try like that. Because in our parampara, if you see our Guru parampara, everyone gets the Gayatri mantra. Otherwise, the parampara cannot continue. So if you have an attitude that, oh, just Harinam. Yes, Harinam is more than enough. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is more than enough. But the Gayatri mantra is like the GPS. It helps us get to our Swarup. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like the car. The car is sufficient to take us to the destination. But if you have a GPS, it becomes easier to get to the destination. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like the car. And we can get there very easily, quicker if we have a GPS. Less chance of making mistakes. Less chance of taking detours. Directly, because it's a direct prayer to become an associate of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, especially the Kam Gayatri mantra. So like that. And there is Brihad Bhagavatamrit of Srila Sanatan Goswami. It talks about the Mahima of Gopal Gayatri mantra, Gopal mantra, not Gayatri, Gopal mantra. So therefore these mantras are very essential and all devotees should aspire for it. With that I will stop. It is exactly 8:59. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Hari Hari.
If there are any questions we can take. Hare Krishna. If
Thank you.
there are no
Prabhu.
questions.
I have 2 questions. So is that okay?
Sorry, go ahead, Prabhu.
So about the initiation, Prabhu, just to clarify that when one gets.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. This is regarding initiation, Prabhu. When one gets initiated, so it is said that all his or her sinful reaction will be passed on to the spiritual master. So can you throw some points about it, Prabhu?
Yes. So Prabhu, Srila Jiva Goswami quotes from the Vedic literature in his Shad Sandarbhas that Divya Jnanam yato dadyat kuryat papasya shangshanam tasmad diksheti saprokta deshikais tattvako viday. And this verse I think is quoted by Srila Prabhupada in his purport several times. This is the definition of Diksha. There are 2 syllables. Diksha. Diksha, initiation. Diksha. So Di means Divya Gyan. Divya Gyanam yato dadyat. During initiation, Shri Guru gives Divya Gyan. You see, whenever we get Diksha, there is a initiation lecture, right? Guru Maharaj gives an initiation lecture. That is Divya Gyan, transcendental knowledge. And all the lectures are transcendental knowledge. So Diksha, Di means Divya Gyanam yato dadyat, and Ksha, Diksha means Kuryat Papasa Shangshanam. All the pap, all the sins are destroyed. Kuryat Papasa Shangshanam Tasmad Diksheti Saprokta. That is called Diksha. Where Papa Shangshanam and Divya Gyan we are given. So yes, during initiation, all the sins are destroyed. And it is like a rebirth, new birth. We start with a clean slate. Then if we follow the 4 regulative principles, we don't commit Vaishnava Aparadh and we chant, then there is nothing to fear.
So it is not just getting destroyed, but will that be passed to the spiritual master, Prabhu?
Yes, spiritual master takes responsibility.
Okay.
Spiritual, just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Jagai Madai, he actually took all their sins and his color became black because of all the black sinful activities of Kali Yuga. And then with Nam Sankirtan, it went away. Of course, Mahaprabhu said that anyone who criticizes the devotees, I will deposit these sinful reactions into them. Anyone who does Vaishnava Aparadh, they will get the sins of Jagai Madai. So criticizing is very wrong. There is a story, please listen very carefully, dear devotees. There was once a kingdom and a king was giving away charity. He was giving away cows in charity. And there was a long line of Brahmanas who were wanting to receive. Because Brahmanas are very simple. They want to keep a cow, milk the cow and live simple. Do their puja. So there was a line of Brahmanas who were receiving the charity. And the king was giving. And then he was also giving some food as charity. Some prasad, some mithai, laddu, something he was giving in charity also. Because Brahmana modaka priya. Brahmanas love sweet dishes. So he was giving. So as the king was handing away, there was a line of Brahmanas, he was handing away cows and sweetmeats. One Brahman received, and just as the Brahman received it, in the sky, there was a hawk, eagle that was flying. And that hawk had just captured a snake, a venomous snake. And the snake was still alive because the eagle takes and then kills it later on. So the snake was alive in the talons, in the claws of the eagle, and they were flying. So some venom seeped down from the fangs of the snake. And those drops of deadly poison, it unknowingly, the Brahman did not know, but it fell in the laddu that was given. And this poison, normally snake venom, if you eat it, it will not have much effect because it has to get into the bloodstream. But if there is any ulcer or anything in the mouth or in the GI tract, it can get absorbed from there. So whatever the reason, this Brahman ate that laddu, which had the poison, the venom of the snake. And as soon as he ate it, within a few moments, he dropped dead. So everybody was wondering, how this happened. Some said, we saw there was a eagle that was flying with a dead snake. Maybe the snake poison fell and venom fell and he died. So they were speculating. So now the difficult job is that for the Yamdutas to decide who is responsible for this death of the Brahman. Brahmahatya has happened. A Brahman has been killed. So who is responsible? Is it the snake? Is it the eagle? Is it the king? Is it the Brahman himself that he came to receive Dakshina? Who is responsible? Is it the cooks who have prepared those laddus? Is it the messenger who gave the invitations to the citizens, come and take charity? Who is responsible for this death, Brahmahatya, for the death of the Brahman? So they were wondering. And they asked Yamraj, Dharmaraj, who should be responsible for the death of this Brahmana? And they were there in their subtle bodies, in that kingdom at that time. Nobody could see, but they were there in their subtle bodies. Demigods have subtle bodies. We have gross body. Inside that is a subtle body. The demigods have subtle bodies. They don't have to worry about foul smell and sweating and shaving and defecating. No, they have bodies like us, but they are subtle bodies. They can enjoy even, they're more powerful. They can enjoy even more. So in their subtle bodies, Yamraj and the Yamdutas are there. And they're asking Yamraj, who should get the sin for this Brahmahatya? At that time, some traveling pilgrim, not tourist, traveling pilgrim came to that kingdom. And he asked that I have heard that the king is very charitable in this kingdom. Can you tell me, I'm a Brahman, can you tell me where the palace is? I want to go and get some charity from the king. So one lady was sitting by the side of the road selling peanuts. You see those people sitting by the side of the road selling peanuts. Simple lady. So this traveling Brahman came and asked her, where is the king's palace? I want to collect some charity. I heard is very charitable. Can you tell me where the palace is? So this lady sitting there, Gramya Katha, gossip, village gossip. In her habit, she said, you want to meet the king? You think he's charitable? He's charitable, but he is also a killer of Brahmanas. What are you saying? Yes. Today only he killed a Brahman. Brahman came, ate the laddu, and that king is the killer of that Brahman. Yamraj told the Yamdutas, give the sins to her. She is criticizing, give her the sins. Hare Krishna. So therefore we have to be careful. What right that woman had to criticize the king? Who is she to judge? So she said, the king is the killer. Yamraj said, give her the sin of Brahmahatya. So it's like that. So we have to be very careful. We should not criticize. So the spiritual master takes the sin, yes. And I don't know how we got into this, but yes, the spiritual master takes the sin. And because spiritual master is pure, because spiritual master is Nam Ashrit, Krishna Ashrit, Dham Ashrit, Mahaprabhu will destroy. Because our parampara is directly going to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will destroy the sins. So like that. But then if we commit sins after initiation, then we see that the guru also sometimes gets some reactions. That is to wake us up. So we see. Like our very well-known ISKCON Gurujan, he very famously said that I am suffering because of my disciples not following the 4 regulative principles and not chanting 16 rounds every day. He actually said it in Atlanta in front of me. Hare Krishna. So you have to be very careful. So the guru may agree to suffer so that the disciples will see and wake up from their complacency and get serious. Is that okay, Muktasanga Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Dasosmi. Saujanya Mataji, and then last question, Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Just a small basic question. I heard different things, so I just want to be clear. So when you were saying Gayatri Mantra, like when we were kids, like when our parents taught us small prayers, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Gayatri Mantra, they had taught us. And we have learned it, and just like how you close your eyes and tell all your prayers. And so even I taught my kids when they were little. So I want to make sure what is the right thing. Now after hearing all this, I get a little confused, and multiple times, multiple ways I've heard. If you can help me to clarify this.
Yes. Gayatri is feminine. The Gayatri mantra is Srimati Radharani. The Gayatri mantra is Srimati Radharani, feminine potency. And Gayatri mantra can be spoken and given to another person only by a person who has realized Gayatri mantra. One who has attained Siddhi, perfection in chanting that particular mantra. So if one is realized in the chanting of that mantra, only then one can speak it with potency and it can have effect. Otherwise it is like blank fire. You know, in the Indian marriages, they have those blank fire, they have those guns, and dung, 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 they fire it. There is no bullet. It only makes noise. So when we chant Gayatri mantra, it is like a blank fire. It has no meaning. It has absolutely no potency. Unless one has realized Gayatri mantra. Unless one has realized Gayatri mantra, if one speaks it to someone, Sampradaya Vihinaya mantraste nishphala mata. It is nishphal. We have to be an acharya. The parampara of Gayatri mantra goes from acharya to acharya to acharya. If you see Bhagavad Gita as it is, if you open the introduction, go to the last page of introduction, Srila Prabhupada mentions the whole parampara. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Isn't it? The whole parampara is there. From Krishna to Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Prabhupada. Look at all those acharyas, like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur. They are Diggaj acharyas. They are spiritual giants. None of them is a Madhyam Adhikari. They are all Uttam Adhikaris. So the parampara doesn't go from a Uttam Adhikari to a Madhyam Adhikari or a Kanishtha. No. The parampara of Gayatri mantra spoken is from Acharya to Acharya to Acharya to Acharya. Only an Acharya can speak the Gayatri mantra to another sadhak. Nobody else. Unless one has attained Siddhi in that Gayatri mantra, one has realized how Gayatri mantra, Brahma Gayatri mantra is Radharani. Useless. Therefore, one should take initiation from a pure devotee. It's very important. One should hear these mantras from a Mahabhagavat who has realized the meaning of those mantras, who has attained Siddhi in chanting those mantras, who has internalized that mantra, and they can speak it with realization. Then it has potency. Then it is like a real bullet. Then it has potency, it has power. Blank fire has no power. You can fire as much as you want. There is a singer, Anuradha Podwal. She has loudly chanted the Gayatri mantra. That is avidhi purvaka. It is against the vidhi of Shastras. It has no potency. It has no potency. It's like putting a letter in a suitcase in the house. It's not going to reach the destination. But that same letter, with the postal stamp and everything, you put it in an authorized mailbox, it will reach the destination. Activity is same. You're putting it in a box, you're putting it in a box. But that box will take it to the destination. So when we have heard the mantra from someone who has realized it, who is authorized, Acharya, our chanting will reach Radharani, will reach Krishna. Otherwise, it is like throwing that letter in some box in the house. It will stay there forever. It will never reach the destination. So that is wrong. Better to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Kali Santana Upanishad says there is no vidhi. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Mahaprabhu says there is no vidhi. Anybody can chant. So there is a difference between Naam and Mantra. Naam anybody can chant. Everybody has the right to chant a Naam. But only when Sri Guru, who is an Acharya, Uttam Adhikari, Mahabhagavat, he speaks the mantra, then we get the adhikar to chant mantra. That's why Mahaprabhu went through this Yajna Pavit Samskar.
Yes, sir.
Why? Otherwise he could have chanted. He's Bhagwan. He is the giver of Gayatri mantra to Lord Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. This is Brahma Gyan, Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma should be heard from pure devotees. Therefore, even lectures, actually, we should hear lectures as far as possible from pure devotees. So these lectures that you are hearing, for example, that I am serving, this is just information. Just inform. The purpose of my Harikatha is to request devotees, please hear from Prabhupada. Please hear from our Guru Varga. Hear from pure devotees. So otherwise, hearing from a person like me is going to be practically useless. But only thing is, please hear from Prabhupada. My service is to inspire everyone to read Prabhupada's books and hear from Prabhupada and our Guru Varga. That has got potency. This is blank fire. Like that. So we have to hear from Acharya. Remember, the parampara is Acharya to Acharya. Hare Krishna.
But we can't reach Acharya without people like you telling us, right? So we should do that. Otherwise, like you just said, all those who are doing Gayatri Mantra, they don't know. Otherwise, without knowing, we'll be doing that forever, which is... Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Once you chant, we'll make more advancement by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Last question, Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Tanva Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Raj Prabhu.
Tanva Pranam to all the assembled devotees too. Prabhu, very nice class. I have one realization and one small question regarding a very nice topic you started of initiation. I am not initiated yet. I just put Das in back of my name, so I am a servant. So Dasana Das, but I am not initiated yet. So
Krishna is Rasaraj.
Yes.
You are Raj Das. You are servant of Krishna. That's very nice. We are all servants. Ekela Ishvara Krishna Arasara Bhritya. Krishna is the Lord and we are all his servants. Please continue,
Yes.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
And I have one realization and one question, Prabhu. When you were speaking, I had some white people around me. And when you were speaking Mangalacharan and in the middle you saying something Radhe Kishori, they were so amazed. They said, what a calming thing this is. And so I couldn't explain them because I was in the class, what is Mangalacharan, but this is what my realization is. Like white people, they know nothing about ISKCON and nothing, but they heard the Mangalacharan only and they were like, what is this? And this is calming, very peaceful. And my question, Prabhu, is regarding initiation. In Prabhupada's time, when we read now Prabhupada's books and we read about our acharyas, we read about his ex-ISKCON, gurus and bhaktas who did great job. Initiation was very fast, Sometime Prabhupada has done first initiation right away, second initiation on the same days too. So, but right now with initiation, it's very, very slow kind of thing. You have to do all kind of course and then you have to wait, and then second initiation, you have to do so many things. First of all, if you can throw some light on that. And my second question always regarding the initiation is, can we take initiations on Zoom? Right now, in Canada, and I hope in states also, they are also doing citizenships oaths on the Zoom. So can we do initiation on the Zoom too? Now with pandemic going on, the gurus are not going around, Maharajis are not going around. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So regarding the first question, what was the first question, Prabhu? Sorry. Just very short.
Yes, it was, no, you make me forget. It was, the first question is time frame. In Prabhupada time, it was fast.
Initiation time. Correct.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, sometimes in a war, in a battle, if there is an emergency situation and then the commander may, or the general will make, if there is a scarcity of commanders, he will make a soldier into a commander. You become the commander because it's emergency situation. We are on the battlefield, the enemy is coming, there is no time. Srila Prabhupada had 11 years. It was an emergency situation. He had to train the hippies from breaking the 4 regulative principles to becoming Paramhamsas. He was on a mission. What Prabhupada has done, even Narad Muni came to see what Prabhupada is doing. That is Prabhupada. Very great. Acharya. So he was on emergency. So that is called technically apat dharma. This type of activities, like Srila Prabhupada came into Australia, and there were devotees who had joined the temple 4 days ago. And Prabhupada gave first and second initiation. And the Matajis were coming with Brahmin thread and sitting in the ceremony with Brahmin thread. And Prabhupada said, no, Matajis don't wear Brahmin thread. Only men are supposed to wear Brahmin thread. So they didn't know. They didn't know anything. So this is the level. And Prabhupada is installing Radha Krishna deities and telling a person who joined 4 days ago, you are the pujari. And in those 4 or 5 days that Srila Prabhupada is there in Australia, he's teaching them how to worship. But empowering. Srila Prabhupada was in Russia for 3 or 4 days. And in a hotel, one Russian boy comes to meet him. And Prabhupada from morning to evening sits and instructs him and gives him his own copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is and leaves. And gives him the initiated name Ananta Shanti Das. And that one Russian boy that Prabhupada met for just 3 days during a short trip. Prabhupada was not allowed to speak publicly and was not allowed to lecture and preach. But just his servant Shamsundar Prabhu had gone to get some potatoes in the market, and he was standing in the line in the shop, and he met this Russian fellow. Hey, you look weird. You have a clean shaven head. You have got this clay marking on your forehead. Yes, my guru is here. You want to meet my guru? So the son of the Indian ambassador in Russia and his Russian friend, they went. The Indian ambassador's son did not become a devotee. But that Russian boy, who for the first time met a Swami in his life, gave his life to Prabhupada. And you can Google Prabhu and see Ananta Shanti Das. The first Russian, he has created a wild forest fire in Russia. So Prabhupada goes there like a 75-year-old man, stays there for 3 days, quietly in his hotel room, preaches to one Russian boy, and in his heart instills the full potency of the parampara. And that seed becomes a beautiful banyan tree with many, many branches, many, many roots, and it is growing and it will continue to grow and give many fruits and flowers. So that is emergency. 3 days. So that is apat dharma. But what is happening now in ISKCON, that is how it should be. We should have to wait. Our Shastras say at least we have to wait 1 year. The guru has to test the disciple for the aspiring disciple for 1 year, and the aspiring disciple has to also observe the guru for at least 1 year. When Jiva Goswami came to Vrindavan Dham after studying from Madhusudan Vachaspati in Kashi, first he was taught by Nityananda Prabhu in Mayapur. Then he said, you go to Vrindavan, but first go to Kashi and learn Sanskrit Vyakaran, learn all the scriptures from Madhusudan Vachaspati, who is a disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So Jiva Goswami went there, learned under Madhusudan Vachaspati, and from Kashi he came to Vrindavan. And then Sanatan Goswami said, you should take initiation from Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami observed Jiva Goswami for 1 year. He's a Manjari. They are from the same Nikunja. Rupa Manjari and Jiva Goswami. But 1 year he made him menially serve Radha Govinda, menially serve, bring water, wash my clothes, clean up. 1 year he observed Jiva Goswami, and after 1 year initiated him. That is how it should be. Now we have 1 million devotees in ISKCON today, Prabhu. 1 million. And the Diksha Gurus are, I think, less than 100. So there is a scarcity of Diksha Gurus. So if you calculate the math, 1 million divided by 100, each Guru will have to carry how many disciples? So therefore, there is a long waiting time. But this disciple course, Bhakti Shastri, chanting at least 16 rounds, serving in the temple in the spirit of a servant, following 4 regulative principles, being under a mentor or a Shiksha Guru, these are essential steps before one can become a Guru. But what Prabhupada did was emergency. He was like Hanumanji. No time to talk. The mountain is, Mayanak mountain is coming. Please rest. No time. I will touch you. Hari bol. Even he was putting Lanka on fire. He was jumping from one rooftop to another. Emergency. Prabhupada was like that. One country to another. Just Mahaprabhu's movement exploded like never before. That is apat dharma. Is that okay? What was the second question?
Prabhu, initiation on Zoom, some platform like Zoom.
Yes. So a potent guru can do anything. Srila Prabhupada gave Gayatri Mantra to cassette recordings. He would send his cassette recording, play it and hear. Actually, Shabda Brahma descends when you sit in front of the guru facing the north direction, and the guru chants the Gayatri Mantra in your right ear. That is the vidhi. But again, Srila Prabhupada, Apat Dharma. Srila Prabhupada said there are so many devotees wanting second initiation, so they can serve my deities that I have installed, but I cannot go there physically. I'm an old man. All right, I will record it in a tape recorder, dictaphone, Gayatri Mantra, and send it. Let the disciples hear it. So a potent guru can do anything because he's Shaktiavesh, his Krishna Shakti is inside him. So a potent guru can give on Zoom, can give through cassette. Prabhupada would initiate through letters. Prabhupada initiated Ladhini Mataji through letter. He would send the beads also in a mail envelope. Prabhupada, so a potent guru can do anything. Again, this is called Kala Desha Patra. Time, place, and circumstances. Time, place, circumstances. Ideally, you have to live in a guru's ashram. Vishram Bhena Guru or Seva. With love, intimacy, you serve the guru. Like Krishna and Balram lived in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. But is it possible for us? No. That is ideal. But when it is not possible, then time, place, circumstance. Just do the best you can. Important thing is to chant, get initiated, get the mercy, accept Guru in our heart. Take Guru Padashra. That is important. So how we do is a detail. Guru, based on time, place, circumstance, can adjust. Acharya can adjust. Hare Krishna. Therefore, it is not just Shastra. It is not just Shastra. It is Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Because how to apply Shastra that Guru will teach based on time, place, circumstance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
So we'll stop here. So yeah, thank you. There are no more comments.
So there is one message in the chat box. So
yes, Mukta Sangha Prabhu. I couldn't see. What is it?
From Sugandha Mataji.
Oh yes, yes. So sorry. Sugandha Mataji. I saw your message in the beginning and then I just missed it. So what is the process I can follow to select my initiating guru? So this is a very important question, Sugandha Mataji. And the connection with Shri Guru is through Vani primarily. Of course, it is Vapu and Vani, but primarily for in this day and age, it is through Vani. Because the Vani of Shri Guru, the instructions of Shri Guru will stay with us forever. Therefore, you should hear the classes, the Hari Katha of different Gurujan in ISKCON. And then you see who inspires you the most. Whose Hari Katha attracts you the most. Whose Hari Katha gives you realizations. Whose Hari Katha makes your heart ekdam dravit, melt with love for Radha and Krishna, with love for Mahaprabhu. And we should follow that path. We should follow. So here from many, I know one very senior devotee. All of you know and love him. I will not take his name, but very wonderful devotee. So what he did was, when he had to choose his guru, on ISKCON Desire, he started hearing the lectures of all the initiating gurus in ISKCON. And then he would see which guru is like, it cannot be described. It goes in the heart. The Vani of that guru just inspires so much. Just the Leela gets revealed when we hear the Hari Katha. There is so much internal heart-to-heart reciprocation. You feel, I cannot describe it, but there is a very strong connection that you feel that yes, this is my transparent via medium to Krishna. This is my guru. I can surrender here. So whoever attracts that faith from you, whoever attracts that love from you as a disciple, then you should surrender to that. That is the manifestation of Guru Tattva for you. So there are many potent and qualified gurus in ISKCON, and you hear, and then through Vani, and then see the character of the guru, the personality of the guru, how the guru conducts himself, and then you choose. Is that helpful, Sugandha Mataji? Through observing the characteristics of Shri Guru and by hearing the Vani of Shri Guru. That is the way. Is that okay, Sugandha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. But then once we have selected the guru, what is the next step? Like, should we reach out to their disciples?
So yeah, there is a system in place. So usually the place where you belong, the congregation where you belong, the yatra you belong, there is usually a system in place. The temple president will usually, or the local GBC will write a letter of recommendation. And then you see what are the requirements. Doing ISKCON disciple course is fundamental. And then chanting 4 regular chanting rounds, at least 16 every day, 4 regulative principles, being under someone. And yes, you should talk to the disciples, because generally the disciples would know the mood of the guru that you have chosen. And that will make it easier. And then you approach the guru in person and you take shelter. That is called Guru Padashray. Guru Padashray. If in person it is not possible, then through the senior disciples of Shri Guru. But you should take Guru Padashraya. You should make a commitment that I accept you as my Guru. But before we accept, we should be very sure about the mood, the message of Shri Guru. And we should be sure that I want to sell myself at the lotus feet of this Mahabhagavad. Chakshudana Dila Jai, Janme Janme Prabhu say. Birth after birth, you are my Lord, you are my Master. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. We should be willing to do Atma Samarpan. Completely surrender ourselves. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. Sei Kale Prabhu Kare Tare Atma Sam. At that time, Krishna accepts. Therefore, we should be very sure. Once we are sure, we should approach Shri Guru, take Guru Padashraya and express our desire to get initiation, Diksha. And then Shri Guru will tell that you meet me after 1 year, or you do this, you do that, meet me after 2 years, like that. Is that okay, Sugandha Mataji?
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna.
much. Hare
Dasosmi. So my apologies, it went very long today. Please forgive me. So we'll stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanand.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Clarified
Krishna.
a lot of things. Thank you very much.